Welcome to the Fink It Isn't Until It Is podcast. I'm Finn.
I'm Tim.
I'm Guy. In which we discuss the various moving parts in a life in music. So, welcome to, is it episode 4?
Episode 4.
Episode 4 of the Tour Diaries.
I believe it.
Here we are in Lausanne in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
And what a lot we have to tell you.
Oh my God.
Tears and laughter.
The joy, the pain.
Yes.
Our surroundings, we're sitting in the kind of lobby of a venue that's not open yet. Finnegan Tui is sound checking as we speak.
Yeah.
And we got a 20-minute window before dinner.
Yes. Very important part of the day.
Yeah, with which to do this little catch up on our run around. So where were we when we last met?
Well, we were on the way to Vilnius. So all of this was in the future.
Oh my God. Okay, so since then we have done
Vilnius.
Yeah, Vilnius.
Warsaw. Dresden. Prague. Vienna.
Oh my God, Vienna.
And then we didn't do Ljubljana.
Not Ljubljana, yes, okay.
We'll get to that.
We shall.
And then Munich, and then last night we did Winterthur, and tonight we're in Lausanne, French-speaking Switzerland.
Wow, we've done loads of gigs since we last did this.
We've literally done I didn't count, but like maybe 9 gigs or something.
So the last time we did a podcast, we were in the bus, heading to Vilnius.
Heading to Vilnius, looking out at the Lithuanian traffic, and on the way to our evening off, which was uneventful.
It was uneventful, but not saying that Vilnius is an uneventful place. It's fantastic.
I made the mistake of having a large beer with Guy in the lobby of the hotel while we were checking in, and then, frankly, I didn't feel like doing anything else after that.
That's awesome. I like that hotel in Vilnius. It had a really nice gym, although it was a bit public. The gym was next to the reception.
Oh, was it?
And it's one of those gyms where it's all glass on the street, so anyone walking past can see you working out.
Oh, really?
And that might be fine if you're 20 and you look great.
Yeah.
But if you're a vintage piece of equipment, you maybe don't want people looking at you.
I've seen that happening in London. I don't understand why.
I think it's in LA. I first saw that in LA,
really?
In West Hollywood, and it was like, why would you want to be on display when you're trying to get your miles in?
Yeah.
Wrong. I mean, Vilnius was great as always. Loftus is a pleasure. And Warsaw was a really vibey, crazy great gig.
Was excellent. I feel like that's one of the best shows we've done in Poland.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Progressia it was called.
Yeah, Progressia, which was a big old box outside, like in the suburbs.
Yeah, and it didn't look much from the outside.
Not at all. It didn't look much from the inside.
To be fair, but the sound system was pretty pokey, and we did a great gig there.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, Finnegan did his first gig playing with us in Loftus.
Right, that's right.
And he I mean, I think he won't mind us saying that he busked it.
He did.
And
he's getting better at busking it.
Warsaw, he's getting better all the time, yeah. Warsaw was thumpingly good, though. I just remember thinking, right, we're back.
Yeah, Warsaw was fantastic. And then, and Dresden actually was surprisingly fun.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not saying anything, not saying that you don't look forward to any gig, but it looked like a kind of work a day, let's get Dresden done gig. Yeah. But actually the vibe in that venue was way more vibey than just a normal work a day gig. We absolutely captured an amazing vibe there.
And they were so attentive when they needed to be attentive, and then going batshit bonkers when they needed to.
Yeah,
it was a real nice blend.
It was so good, and your rehearsals start to kick in. You get to feel them a little bit when you hit the stage, and when you rehearse, you can start thinking about other things, not your washing and where you're going to have coffee in the morning, but you can start thinking about performance elements or allowing yourself to perform more because you don't have to think so much.
Yeah,
it's not like acting. It's just like if you're comfortable doing what you're doing, you can do it more comfortably.
Sure.
And so I've definitely got that going. But while we were in this situation, there was a bit of a cold brewing in the bus.
Yeah, I think Dresden was the day it began to really brew.
Yeah,
I think
Finnegan maybe had it first. Guy had it real bad.
Yeah,
and then I got it.
Yeah,
which is not good as a singer at all. So, where did we go after Dresden?
So Dresden. After Dresden, we did Prague, and that was a nice It was a nice venue in a kind of hip, new neighbour. I mean, new as in it used to be. It's classic. It used to be an absolute shithole that no one went to.
Yeah.
And now the artists have moved in and made it a kind of nice, hip and trendy neighbourhood.
It was really cool actually because it looked like some kind of weird old cinema from the outside, but then you go down like 2 flights of stairs into some kind of basement bunker type cinema situation, and which was really, really weird. All round weird vibes, but a really intense gig down there. Very hot, very up close and personal. And
definitely.
We've done a lot of interesting gigs in Prague over the years.
But we feel that with the Prague gig, so Finnegan, it was at the height of his cold when we got to Prague. So I think he still smashed it, and he did say a couple of times, "I've got a cold." So he got the crowd on his side.
Did he?
He got the underdog spirit.
He's so charming.
Yeah, definitely. And by the end of it, I mean, he practically got an encore.
Yeah, he did actually that night. He did. I know, which is surprising because he could hardly sing.
Yeah. So we feel like we're doing a kind of scoreboard of Finnegan.
He did win that night. You're quite right.
He won that night, and he won. Where did he win? Vigo in Spain.
He won Vigo in Spain.
So currently it's 2-14.
I don't know what it is. We have a slight advantage. Bigger team.
I think so. Yeah.
But that's right. He did knock it out the park in Prague for some reason.
Yeah,
and something's developed with Finnegan's gigs, where people are giving him necklaces.
Yeah, sure.
He's gonna look like Mr. T by the time we finish this tour, made out of bones and crystals.
Yeah, I guess he rocks a necklace himself, so people look at that and think, "Oh, great, I'm going to."
Well, I wear silver. People don't give me silver. Shame.
Yeah. Don't they? Do they give you kind of like beard?
Beard oil.
Beard oil.
Mental note: give me beard oil.
Yeah.
No, don't give me beard oil.
So Finnegan's got his own fans now. It's quite cool. How do you feel about that?
Are we doing a little recording?
Yeah, a little recording.
I feel great about that.
Do you?
It's very exciting.
When people come up to you on the merch table and actually kind of say, "Yeah, we really like you. Can we follow your?"
It's always very surprising.
Is it?
Yeah. It's really like it's a really nice surprise every time.
Sure. So tonight Finnegan and I are gonna play a song together.
I can't wait.
Yeah, no, it's gonna. I'm
like you said, it's gonna be the Basque version.
Definitely.
We've never really played it all the way through. Yet.
No, that's the thing. It's always best to like
just
live
see
on.
what happens.
Yeah, but it is one of Finnegan's best songs. So I really hope I don't fuck it up.
Oh, thank you. No, it really. I think it's just gonna bring so much. That's the one that I think I've been thinking about taking out.
Really? Okay. Oh, taking out.
I've been thinking about just taking it out.
Oh no! I know it's a good song.
But yeah, with the drums, it's definitely gonna stay.
Cool. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy. We'll speak later.
Yes.
I mean, Prague was really actually, an interesting venue that we haven't played. I did a bit of digging in Prague. I did a bit of record shopping in Warsaw. Found an absolute peach of a shop in Warsaw. Hey Joe, where I gave it a speed dig, and oh man.
Oh, was that the one where you had to climb up on?
I was on ladders. I was in the dirt. I was in the dust. That was really fabulous. Bought some absolute nuggets in there. But then we did Austria. Yes. And this gig in Austria, Volkstheater in Vienna, it was described to us as the Albert Hall of Vienna. It's fancier than the Albert Hall.
Yeah,
it's actually got that Habsburg juice rather than the Victorian juice going on.
Definitely.
And they don't shy away from a bit of guilt, as in,
GILT.
Exactly, as in guilting the whole, everything, the ceiling and the boxes and the...
But it was proper theatre though, wasn't it? Like scenery backstage, like, massive area where you can wheel bits of scenery on and make the place look like an entire room.
It was so fancy.
It's very fancy.
It must be one of the top fanciest venues we've played.
I think so, yeah. It was up there with Concertgebouw and I mean, again, in Vienna we've done some fancy ones.
We have, actually, but that was definitely like...
Alex, our agent, our promoter, he always... He's really great because he thinks about the destination of the venue. He doesn't just think, right, what level can we get to next numbers wise? He thinks, right, what room is good for Fink? But Alex Nussbaumer, as usual, showed up with gifts for us.
He did show up with gifts. He showed up with fleeces, which is great. So now we look like an F1 team.
Fink personalised fleeces. Yeah,
that's Lucy walking by.
Lucy's cross because she can't get into the door.
She's on her phone. She's doing some important merch business.
I was like trying to open the door, but it didn't work.
Yeah. Oh no. So can you get back at all now?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's try.
Let's
find out.
Wandering around a venue lost, not being able to get back in is a classic tour moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a really crazy fancy venue. And, you know, I was really ill that night. Really, really ill. But I just couldn't not do that show. And it was such an amazing show.
It was a little bit overwhelming.
It was a bit intimidating. It was so quiet in that room.
Yeah.
And it's seated, and the seats are all plush, and we've mentioned all the gilt. So it is literally like you could hear yourself breathing on the stage, and the acoustics were such that the audience could hear everything.
Every single thing. Every little clunk of guitar. And I mean, you and I definitely made a bit of a hoof in the second song each.
Oh, God. We did in Pilgrim, God.
Because we also recorded it. And we listened to it back afterwards.
Yeah, we did.
The first gig we recorded.
We did. We asked Rob, our sound guy, to start recording gigs so we could start tweaking the show. Because obviously what it sounds like is different to what it feels like.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, I'm glad we did. It was frankly horrifying.
It was, you know. It's the show that you listen to, the live show, it's not the show. The show was the moment. The recording of the show is just the recording of the audio of that moment.
Yeah.
But it's not even 30% of what happened that night. No. I can never get my head around listening to live shows. I really can't. Of mine, because it's just that wasn't the gig that I played.
Sure.
I mean, that wasn't the night that I had.
Yeah, but it also wasn't even like what Rob has put because Rob puts all sorts of things on the sound after it kind of gets into his desk, so it wasn't that.
And it's the sound of the venue and all that stuff and the vibe. But yeah, Vienna was amazing. But after the show in Vienna, I was feeling really rotten, and you know, I can do a gig in any circumstances, and it can affect any part of my. And I've gigged through so many injuries over the years and so many different problems, mental and physical, I might add. But as long as it doesn't go to the voice, anyway. We get on the bus after Austria, we get to Ljubljana, and I wake up that morning, first up, of course, and there's no voice to be had.
Right.
There's no singing voice. I can't sing the first bars of We Watch the Stars.
Yeah. I had a cup of tea, and you said, I don't think we can do this tonight. And I was thinking, wow, okay, we've never been here before. I get it. I understand totally.
Yeah.
But
it's the weirdest feeling. It's the shittiest feeling, actually. It is. And, you know, as a band, solo and band, for 18 years, we've never cancelled a show. If I'd have done that show, I would have ruined my voice, possibly permanently, and the rest of the tour would have been cut.
Sure.
There's no question.
And it would have been a bad show too. I mean, it
would have been a terrible show. And
you know.
Like I said to you on the bus that morning when I was wrangling with what are we going to do, because we're parked outside the venue in Ljubljana, and no one's awake yet. It's just me, you, and the tour manager.
Yeah.
And I'd already said to Ash, listen, man, I'm thinking I can't actually do this show. What are the ramifications of that?
Yeah.
And then you got up, and then I made it public by telling you, which was nice to get it out of my system.
Yeah.
And then
you decided to go for a walk.
I went for a walk to just get at peace. You know, because we're used to letting people down. You let your wife down all the time, let your babies down when you don't take them to the, park or something. You know, you're used to letting people down, but not letting hundreds of people down. Subsequently, we've had lots of messages from people that flew from all over the world to go to that show, and I don't know, I'm still working through the feeling really shit about it. I couldn't have done the show though. And I almost felt guilty. So what I did was I jumped on a plane to Munich and booked into a hotel and didn't talk to anyone for 2 days. And basically spent 2 days steaming and saunaing and not speaking. A doctor in Munich prescribed me a whole bag of drugs I have to take. Yeah. And then by the time the Munich show came around, I could just very, very delicately do that show.
Yeah.
And I was really... being very delicate on that show.
Yeah.
But we pulled it off.
We definitely pulled it off, yeah. But meanwhile, we all stayed in Ljubljana. And by the way, the venue, Kino Siska, they were the nicest, most understanding people. They were completely understanding. And not only that, they let us remain in the venue for the day so we could drink coffee and have some lunch and so on. That was really, really sweet of them. But when we went out that night, we went out into central Ljubljana for something to eat. Ash banned everyone from wearing their Fink fleeces because he thought that might be a bad look.
For sure.
Bumping into anyone who would have come to the gig, sort of, oh, here I am, the Fink fleece, and so we had some dinner and then played a lot of table tennis. Finnegan, turns out, is quite good at table tennis. Who'd have thought?
Damn. So Guy's crown has been crumpled into dust.
Yeah, Guy's crown. I beat Guy that day. Guy was.
He wasn't on form though.
He wasn't on form. No.
Damn.
So, anyway, then we got on the bus and caught up with Finn in Munich.
I mean, felt really. When I was in Munich on my own in this hotel room trying to get my voice back, it just felt like I was living outside of my own life. My band is on a bus in a different city that I'm not playing at.
Yeah.
And I'm in a hotel where the breakfast costs €42. And there's a Bugatti outside.
Yeah.
And it just felt very, very weird. I felt very alienated from my own self for 2 days. But I felt the voice slowly coming back, and I thought, look, as long as Munich isn't brutal, I'll be okay.
I mean, it was all right.
It was all right. It was all right. Yeah, I didn't push it, and I saved a lot. And then the day after Munich was yesterday.
Yeah, Winterthur.
Winterthur. So I gave it a little bit more last night.
Yeah.
And tonight, I know I've got a day off tomorrow, so I can give it a bit more tonight.
Yeah.
And
that's how you do it.
I mean, Munich was great. I mean, the venue was wicked. Like
backstage, it's super.
Backstage
It's actually called backstage.
It was great. It was like a kind of pit with like stairs on each side, and so you looked out and you had a lovely kind of concave audience to look at. It was so nice, and they were well chatty and well noisy, but we got them by the end.
It was Friday night.
It was Friday night in
Munich.
Friday night in Munich.
And then it was Saturday night in Winterthur, so it was proper kind of nightclubbing afterwards.
It was.
But both gigs were really hot and sweaty. Little boxes, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
I really I felt like we were back in the med.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
those gigs.
I came off stage just completely soaking wet.
Now I'm approaching Lucy's merch desk to see how she's doing. It's gig number. What gig number is it now?
8.
Is it 8?
No,
what
8.
is it?
I think it's 8.
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Or 7. Yesterday was 7.
Tourcoing is going to be 11.
Ooh.
So halfway through the Tourcoing gig, we'll be halfway through the tour.
Paris tomorrow.
I know. Paris tomorrow. You're excited about that?
I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah. So you've never been to Paris?
No. Also,
Cool.
London afterwards and Bristol. Oh, great.
Yeah. And so you're waiting now for the crowds to descend on your merch table.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Are you kind of in the zone now? Are you kind of used to it?
No, I think I'm used to it. Now I'm very relaxed and excited, but after the show is mostly when most people come up, and then it gets a bit stressful.
It gets a bit crazy then, doesn't it?
But before it's always nice because you get to chat with people. Everyone's very nice and calm.
That's nice,
A good thing.
And do you think you're selling like more than you thought you would, or is it like just about right?
I think I was selling more than I thought I would, definitely, because I didn't think about how much we would sell.
Yeah.
And then when you actually live, like when you get to sell stuff after the show, it's just so overwhelming. So many people.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's also very exciting.
And do you think it's more when Finn comes?
Yeah, 100%.
Really? Yeah,
it was crazy. The other day when I saw it and people came up and it seemed like he needed security. It was like, oh my god, this is
Where was
the
that?
real
Was that
deal.
Warsaw?
I think it was Dresden. No.
Oh yeah, was it Dresden?
Yeah, I think it was Dresden, where I was like, oh wow, this can be. I mean, not scary, but like.
Right.
It was I think.
People are very. That's a good thing. People are very nice.
Yeah, they are.
At
totally.
Fink gigs, but I don't know whether we're going to keep on doing it. Like, keep on going out to the merch table afterwards when the gigs get sort of even bigger, because we're going up to like 2,000.
Whoa.
Antwerp's 2,000.
Yeah.
But Belgians are very civilized.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
I can say that, yeah.
Because you are Belgian?
No, because I have experience of Belgian audiences, so I know, and it's a nice thing to say that you're civilized.
Totally.
I think, as opposed to the crazy people in.
We have to text Ash that the doors are open now.
Doors are open. Oh, so doors are open?
Yes, they are open.
There's a little gaggle of people that have appeared by the stage.
Ah, okay. He said, security guard positioned at the back door, so please have your pass. Oh, guess what I don't have?
You don't have your pass?
No.
Oh, no.
Today I feel like I've been forgetting. No, I also forgot my jacket. So
where's your jacket?
Good question. I feel like I lost it yesterday.
What,
the nice one, the North Face one.
Oh,
and also
no.
I burned a hole into it too.
Did you? You're doing great then. That's great. Oh, great. Well, listen. Thank you. We will we'll catch up another time.
Yes. Thank you.
So tonight, Sunday night in Lausanne. So it should be hopefully a little bit more mellow.
A bit more mellow.
I could have a mellow show tonight.
Yeah, it's a lovely place. We've been here before, twice.
Yeah, we love this place.
Yeah, it's a proper, tried and tested venue, purpose built. Everything makes sense.
Yeah, it's nice. And we're all getting used to the bus. We're all sleeping okay.
Yeah, a bit better now. Yeah.
And
by the way, driver update.
Oh, Carsten, yeah.
Because we said during one of our little outtakes of the last episode, we were kind of thinking, what's the driver going to be like? Is he going to be a nutter? Because you never know. But Carsten, I think, is probably one of the best we've had.
I think so too,
He's
man.
a really nice guy, very straightforward, very good driver. Drives quite fast, doesn't he? But
I don't know. It's hard to tell. We're in a 25-ton nightliner.
We tend to get to the place when Ash thinks we're going to get there.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's a good thing.
I've only seen him. He hasn't lost his rag, but I saw him in a rag losing scenario.
Oh yeah,
in Vienna.
In Vienna, yes.
And because there was a little coffee van parked where the bus needs to park, and that's it. You're stuck. A 25-ton nightliner and a trailer is not that manoeuvrable in Viennese streets. So you're just stuck until the police get hold of the guy. And the traffic behind him was beeping and getting more and more angry, and it's like 9 a.m. and people are getting stressed. And
there's a woman who gave it to Ash with both barrels.
Mate, I mean,
I pay my taxes in this city. You musicians, you're all the same.
Carsten was cool. The guy in the car behind got out.
Yeah.
A bit of a road rage incident just about to happen. And he walked up to Carsten's window and said, "What is this?" And Carsten said, "It is a bus." And that's kind of the end of that.
Oh wow!
So that was great. So I think he's definitely one of the best.
Yeah, he's good.
He's got a great vibe.
Yeah,
and he's a very smooth ride as well.
Yeah,
which is nice
for sure. So he's going to take us to Paris.
It's a big one tonight. 9 hours, and then we're rushing there so that you get the Eurostar.
Oh yeah, that's very nice.
To get a bit of an R&R.
Yeah.
I got a lunch meeting at 1
tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing to wear because all my gig wear's gross and in my bag, and so anyway, got lunch meeting at 1, and then the day off,
the day off in Paris, which Lucy is so excited about. She's practically levitating.
She's really into it, and her plan was to sit in a cafe and smoke and write poetry for 8 hours, which is a fairly good plan for Paris. You know what? It's one of those plans that's totally doable.
Sure.
And you know, it's important to set your sights into a realistic space.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's going to be great. And I mean,
Guy, meanwhile, is going to spend the whole day in his bunk on the bus with the curtains drawn,
being like, fucking hate Paris.
He doesn't like Paris. Yeah.
Nor does Carsten.
No, very true. They're brothers in arms.
There you go. So when they were bemoaning Paris to Lucy, I felt the need to step in.
Yeah.
And inject some naive romance into the situation.
That was good.
But let's get tonight's gig out of the way.
Yeah.
And we'll probably regroup for the Fink podcast. I don't know when.
I would think in London. Let's have a bit of a London moment, because London's at the end of the week. We've got 2 dates in London, and we can just get in there, and it's a kind of a residency because we set the gear up and leave it there for 2
We do,
nights.
but there's no bus. It's a crossload.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Which always feels a bit weird.
But we'll be around, so we can definitely grab her.
Or we do it from the ferry. Do you want more beans with that, sir? Do you want extra piece of bread with that? No mushrooms, sorry, they're off.
Oh yeah, great. The ferry. Yeah, I went on one of those ferries recently. They haven't changed.
Well, our last ferry experience was mega.
Oh, the one in Sardinia.
Of course, when I became a ferry guy.
Yeah.
So let's do the English version.
Totally.
All right, great. Nice. Shall we have dinner then?
Yeah, let's have dinner.
Come on. And, Guy will love it. It's probably stuffed peppers.
Great. Enjoy.
Good times. See you later.
So it's now after the gig, and I think we're all of the opinion that it was pretty good. Don't you think, Finnegan? It was pretty good.
I do.
Finnegan and I did our duet for the first time. That's good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great. What did you think, Rob?
Oh, I enjoyed it, and that's it for now.
But the gig, Rob was very happy with the gig tonight. Rob,
I was absolutely happy with the gig. It was, for me personally, the best gig from this run.
Why was that?
I think all the vibes were in sync. That's basically it.
Right. That's cool. That's good to know. That's like the main factor.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a really good time. It was my first night without looking at any of my
notes.
Your
copious
paper.
notes.
the chords and the sheets and the parts. I think tonight I was like, actually, I know these all just off by heart.
That's cool.
I love Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland's wicked.
Switzerland is the best country of Europe. Well, it is not Europe, but it is.
It is in Europe. It's not in the EU, but it is Europe.
Yeah.
I used to do quite an embarrassing thing.
What?
I'm going to say it.
Oh, yeah, go on.
I'm going to have this documented that in the little booklet where I was writing a thank you note.
The visitor's book.
Yeah, the visitor's book. I wrote, this was great. It's my first show in France.
Oh, you did.
No, I did, Rob.
Oh, you.
I wrote, my first ever show in France. Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Hello, Cleveland.
And we're not in France, are we? We're in Switzerland.
So Guy suggested that you change it to
French-speaking Switzerland, which I managed to manipulate
it's
the word.
very
France.
convincing, actually.
Yeah, it looks like
it looks.
So I wrote it fast. So France. Yeah, France now looks like French.
Yeah.
And I added in speaking Switzerland.
That's it.
Are you still recording?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
But the even further amusing thing is this wouldn't have even been his first gig in France anyway.
No.
You played Marseille and Montpellier with us.
I really just thought today I was playing my first France show. Not only are we not in France, I also already played two. It's unbelievable.